Everything about the outdoors. Take it away, guys.
Good Friday morning here on the Good Outdoorz Radio here in Valdosta, Georgia on 99.5 Kicks Country. Man, I tell you what, I'm proud to be here this morning.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to a good weekend. Got a lot going on. You be going down traveling and filming some fishing, and I'm going to fire up, get up early in the morning, go down there to the church and film a wedding.
Wedding, huh?
Oh, wedding.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Weddings are great outdoor activities.
Shoot, yeah, man. Good wedding is good. But I tell you what, I'd rather be down there fishing. I mean, it's good to go see a wedding, but I'd rather be fishing. That's what I'm not going to be fishing, but I'm going to be filming.
Well, the good thing about tomorrow's wedding is that it ain't me. That's about all I can say about it.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Hey, marijuana news this morning, Darrell Sample Jr. Studies have showed that the cannabis actually helps brain injuries, and amidst the many it damages your brain studies, some reports have shown that cannabis has neuroprotective qualities. So,
oh, really?
It's hard to believe that you could get smarter smoking marijuana, but apparently some studies say you might can.
Oh my God!
If that's the case, I need to smoke a ton of it.
Me and you both. I mean, what? No, I mean, really, I'm done with that. I ain't even going to talk about it.
It's Friday. I'll leave that one alone.
They went and banned bikinis at the Miss World pageant.
Yeah, I saw that. And boy, that's been all over the news. Believe it or not, the bikinis banned at the Miss World pageant, and I really don't see a definitive answer as why. I mean, yeah, they say it's not racist, but sexist. But really, it's an iconic part of beauty pageants like that.
The only reason I watched it.
I mean, what would the Miss Tropicana pageant be without bikini contest?
I don't know, dude. Miss Tropicana. Not the Hawaii Tropic by any means, the Miss Tropicana.
Well, whichever one it was. I was just trying to think of a bikini contest. There was a British fisherman lands a 115-pound UK monster catfish, a Wales catfish, and it's one of probably the best known Wales catfish in the UK, in England. Evidently, he's been caught before many times.
Really?
Yeah. He said, British man hooked and landed the biggest fish of his life, said to probably be the most well-known catfish in England, and then he needed help getting it on the shore. Said Rodney Hills, his son and a fellow fisherman from the group, lifted the massive Wales catfish onto the shore. Fish went a whopping 114 pounds and 11 ounces, and it took him 30 minutes to reel the fish in on 40-pound test. And they immediately recognized the obvious. Once we got him into the net, he said, you better go and wake someone else up, as we're going to have trouble getting this out of the water. So he summoned a member of the fishing party from a nearby tent, and the 10 fishermen from the Catfish Conservation Group spent the night camped out on the shoreline, allowing him to get extra help. But this big old catfish is one that's been caught so many times before. It has a scar that's very recognizable, so they knew which one it was.
You got him marked.
The fish stays hungry. A fish that big eats a lot.
Got to eat a lot. That's there's Wales cats. People travel from all over the world to catch them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Larissa that we were talking about the other day on Top Hooker, she goes over there to Brazil or somewhere to catch those type catfish, and pretty good sport. But California sheriff's deputy was suspicious when he heard 2 women were spotted, near a Lancaster, California intersection, and one of them was holding an alligator.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm thinking, an alligator, okay, said the deputy. Maybe an iguana, but not an alligator. A 911 operator agreed. Could it be a lizard? The operator tells a woman reporting a couple, and the lady says, no, it is an alligator. Rust, the officer, investigated the report Tuesday morning and found not just a 4-foot alligator, but also a kangaroo and a monkey.
What in the world were them people doing?
The women explained that the menagerie is part of the Zoo to You program in Paso Robles that introduces kids to animals. So their van broke down, and they were carrying alligator with him. Didn't want to leave him in a hot car, and said he opened up the back of the van. All he could smell was alligator urine.
Ew, nice.
Ooh,
that would be really nice.
Probably not good.
Did you see the one about the doctor? She's a doctor and a guide rescue a baby moose from Montana River.
Nope.
Yeah, there was says Pennsylvania doctor on a guided fishing trip in southwestern Montana. Said helped haul a 25-pound lunker baby moose she helped rescue from a Russian river. So they were just watching this adult female struggle back and forth. And we didn't see the baby until we got close. And Mom kept pushing. The current was pretty swift. The mother bolted and took off across the river, leaving the baby behind. And it stepped off the gravel bar in the water to follow its mother, and it was swept downstream. And they went to action and grabbed that little booger and scooped him up and put him up on the bank. So,
man, a baby moose, even a baby moose is big.
Yeah, he's got legs like 6 foot long when he's a baby.
He's all legs. That's right.
But they reunited the mother with the infant 25-pound baby moose, and they all went off back into the woods together. So good deal. Mother Nature, trying to take effect there, but they kind of held her off a little bit.
Well, I was forced to stay up late last night watching the game one in the NBA final. It was stayed close the whole time, and I'm going to tell you what, son, it went down to the buzzer. And Tony Parker from the Spurs made an absolutely unbelievably miraculous shot. I can't even explain it. He falls down, dribbles, and just gets it to go. And with about 5 seconds left, and it beat the Heat. So anyway,
just watched a replay of that.
Any of the games not in a buzzard?
What's that?
What game has never ended in a buzzard?
A buzzer beater.
Ah, there you go.
Buzzer beater. Yeah, all of them ended the buzzer. That's like saying I can tell you the score of the football game before it even starts. 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good shot. That they were all over, and they was trying to get him, defending him really well. I watched it.
LeBron actually had his hand on the ball, but Parker was strong enough to hold on to it, and he made the shot. Give him credit. So they take a 1-0 lead, take away home court advantage, and going to be a good series, it looks like. So
I was forced to stay up late too last night. I started on a new quest. A Texas billionaire, Andrew Bill, he's always been fascinated by numbers, and he has offered $1 million to solve a math problem. So I started on my new quest to solve this math problem last night.
How far did you get with that?
It's 7.
It's going to take a while. But he's offering a $1 million reward who can solve this math problem, now dubbed the Bill conjecture, and it's been trying to solve since 1993. And it's been a reward. It started at $5,000 in 1997, bumped up to $100,000 in 2000, where it remained for 13 years. Now the money has hit 7 figures.
If no one's figured it out, how are we going to know if it's correct?
Oh, good point. Good point, Darrell Sample.
It's a 350-year-old mystery. So, yeah.
What's the name of the math problem?
AX plus BY equals CZ.
No, don't they call it something?
They call it the Bill conjecture.
Okay, yeah.
BEAL conjecture. And it's one of the last, actually it's a Fermat's last theorem, and it's 350-year-old problem. It may take me a few days. I'll work on it this weekend.
I'm
and get
thinking
back
if
with
it
you
ain't been and solved in 350 years, you can make the reward whatever you want to make it. It ain't happening.
Well, Bill realized that there could be only solutions to the equation when A, B, and C have a common numerical factor, and I agree with that 100%. So I'm going to work on this.
I guess I do
weekend.
too. Then
I'll get back with you on it. I probably can figure that out by about Tuesday.
I'm like Darrell Sample. I think the answer is 7. That's my guess.
It's a little bit more complicated than 7. The square root of 32.63, I think. Mm-hmm. Fishermen reel in a massive swordfish, expected to be the biggest ever in Texas. And boy, the way they got the camera angle on that sucker, it looks huge. It's weighed in at nearly 500 pounds in Surfside, Texas. That is a big old fish. It's the biggest one that we've caught here in the Gulf of Mexico boat. Captain Jeff Wilson said it was 500 a day before we had to put it in ice and bring it in, and it loses weight during that process. So, the fish measured 107 inches and weighed 493 pounds. The previous record was 341. So, they kind of smashed the record. They were 100 miles offshore and had been at it for more than 3 days, fishing 24 hours a day before they came across the big one. Ain't that something?
Sometimes it's like finding a needle in a haystack out there, ain't it?
Yeah, and I guess they stumbled right upon that daggum needle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's an interesting
big needle.
Here's a little thought for you. They say it was caught in Texas, but yet it was caught in the Gulf. Why don't they give it as a record?
They were
Gulf
out of Texas.
catch?
They were off the coast of Texas.
Yeah, they always go by where you leave from. That is interesting. There, you could pull off shore in Texas and head over and be fishing right out in front of Louisiana or something and catch it, and it's called a Texas state record. or something.
It just makes you go,
It is a little weird. It is a little weird.
You got a little video of them pulling it in and hoisting it up and all this good stuff. So it's a big old fish. I sure would like to catch one that big myself. Wouldn't you?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, it would be a nice little fight.
I'd like to catch anything that big, and you start talking about world records, that's even better.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, we had a lot of rain from the tropical storm yesterday that kind of moved through, and I think it's about gone from here now. It's for the most part. I think it's gone from here.
I think it is too. I think we're still going to get rain from it, but I think the actual storm's kind of passed.
Yeah, there was a lot of pretty good bit of rain fell around yesterday.
Spawned several tornadoes down in Florida too. I hope I didn't hear of any major damages. I hope everything was okay, but it did get a little dicey down there.
Yeah, it's actually the way it showed it was sitting now is maybe over there close to Savannah or something like that. I think it's the way it's sitting or where it's sitting now. It's not doing a whole lot for us. It may be having, it's going to go on up the East Coast and kind of going out into the Atlantic, I think, and go away from us, I believe.
Yeah, it kind of stayed a little bit south, more south than they kind of thought it would. It was down in the bottom of the projected path. Red projected path I kept looking at, so I'm glad it dodged us.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock last night, it was actually 40 miles west of Jacksonville, Florida, 45-mile-per-hour winds. So, it's a good thing it gave us some rain, much-needed rain around the area, but it didn't just overly soak us here either. So we got
it was a steady, slow soaking rain. One of them that does the land good.
Oh yeah, we got lucky on it. All right, we're going to take our first break this morning. We'll be right back with Feel Good Friday on the Good Outdoors.
Here we go again. Every time there's a food plot to be planted, Darrell's nowhere to be found. You see him, Ronnie?
He's probably in the truck eating a dang sandwich.
I'm sitting right here by this tree, and they don't even see me.
Man, that Real Tree AP was designed to blend hunters with their surroundings, not hide them when it's time to work.
I'm so hidden, the scooters can't even find me.
Okay, Darrell, come on. We got to get this stuff planted.
What's that? Hey, stop it.
Real Tree. It's so real, a coyote might pee on it.
Serves you right, you slacker.
The grill might be in storage, but that's what campfires are for. And the backyard party is on hiatus, but that's because everyone is tailgating. Only the seasons change, tastes don't, and when you've got Bud Light Lime, you don't need summer to have a good time. It's the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Look for a Bud Light Lime and find your summer state of mind anytime. It's in the lime. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Lime flavored beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
What in the world is that noise?
Sounds like the transmission's about to come out of my truck.
Transmission? Sounds like Alien versus Predator under there. Let's get it to Ronnie at Eagle Auto Repair.
Ronnie, I got a problem.
Problem? It sounded like Superman fighting the Incredible Hulk.
No, it was worse than that.
Come on, man. This is for real. I ain't got the money to be fixing no big problem.
Chill out, dude. You're at Eagle Auto Repair. You know we'll fix it right and as inexpensive as we can. We only use quality parts, and my guys are some of the best trained technicians in town.
Yeah, but can they stop a fight between Godzilla and King Kong? Because I'm betting that's what they're going to find under there.
Eagle Auto Repair.
321 Lakes Boulevard, Lake Park, Georgia.
Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has been serving South Georgia and North Florida for over 3 decades. With 9 locations in the South, Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a full-line distributor for all welding and industrial supplies. The Jones mission is to provide quality products at a competitive price in order to supply the best service available. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has built a reputation for good, honest, old-fashioned service. For a location near you, visit www.joneswelding.com. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a proud supporter of the Good Outdoors. It's that time of year. People everywhere will be scrambling to find somebody to take care of filing their taxes. Fast Tax and Bookkeeping at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q has a quick turnaround time and the knowledge to prepare your taxes properly, making sure you are getting what's due. With $25 1040 EZ filings, electronic refunds in a flash, military and college student discounts, and fast and friendly service, drop by and see Lisa Griffiths and the gang at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q, or give them a call at 229-253-0181 to schedule an appointment.
So you need a car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Midway Auto Emporium at 4189 Bemis Road, Valdosta, Georgia. Cameron and Melissa Tucker has been serving the Valdosta area for over 7 years now. They are a family-owned and operated local business with hometown values and still believe in handshake deals. With a great selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, with a Carfax report on every one of them, along with bank financing at all credit levels and interest rates as low as 1.85% with approved credit. 4189 Bemis Road, or visit their website at midwayautoemporium.com.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Welcome back this morning. I just found a pretty interesting thing right here. So, a new world record set by Jim Carmichael in a bench rest world record for shooting accuracy. And it says the record I set is in the bench rest competition, and it's a quest for ultimate in rifle accuracy. The holy grail of bench rest, as you can imagine, is to shoot every bullet through the exact same hole. But the closest anyone has came was back in 73 when a single 5-shot group fired at 100 yards measured an astonishing .009 inches. Yeah, that's about the thickness of a page of a magazine. No one has since ever come close to that record. But I think this guy did.
He must have.
Again, and it doesn't really give any more on it, but man, can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
At 100 yards, a 5-shot group?
No.
You can't even tell there's just but one hole there.
I've never come anywhere even
Not even
remotely close to that. I have had a 3-shot group where all three were touching.
Yeah,
But I've never come close to putting them all in the same hole like that. Maybe on occasion one of 2 shots might get pretty close to covering up half the hole or something just by accident. But that's quite an accomplishment with 5 shots. What does it say? What caliber rifle?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't go on to say that. I wish it did. It's a really short article, and I would really like to know more on that because, man, that's a heck of a feat right there.
It is. I don't care what caliber it is. I was just curious, but you can put 5 bullet holes in. That's lights out right there.
That's carrying accuracy to an extreme level. I like to be accurate with my rifle, but I never, ever even considered being that accurate.
No, I mean, you don't have to be that accurate for what we do, I guess. Not at 100 yards anyway.
And you believe, though, 100 yards, the bench rest competition, I'd like to see exactly how they are able to hold their guns and what they can do. But, oh, man, 5 bullets in one hole. Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable there.
3 years ago, there was a huge marlin called us. It's called $1 million marlin case. It settled after 3 years of legal battles. The crew of the Citation fought the battle of a lifetime as they held on to an 883-pound marlin that would eventually become the largest fish recorded caught during the annual Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament in 2010. And so they fought the marlin for over 3 hours before and able to bring it on board, at which point cheers rung out when the crew realized they could very well have snagged a combined prize purse of $918,000. They quickly turned to concern, however, as it was discovered that one of the crew members did not have the necessary recreational fishing license for the state of North Carolina. So they thought that the captain they thought this guy actually had a blanket fishing license would be in effect for all the crew members, but tournament rules specifically require all participants to have their own valid fishing license.
Well, given that, it sounds like they should have lost the case. So
that whenever they figured this out or figured they thought they might be in trouble, they used the ship's laptop to purchase the required license online, but it was already too late. And I'm trying to go on here. It says appeals court judge Robert Hunter believed that the lack of recreational fishing license did not provide the Citation with a competitive edge or was a significant violation. So it was taken to North Carolina's highest court earlier this year, and the state Supreme Court agreed with Hunter and sent the case back to Superior Court under a different judge. So the details of the settlement, including the final distribution of prize money as well as official winners of the 2010 tournament, has not been disclosed yet. So
sounds like they won.
Yeah, it sounds like they won, and they've had this tied up for 3 years.
That sounds honestly. I'm glad they won it all, but that sounds like a crock. When the one judge said that it was not a significant rules violation, well, that's a crock. I mean, you either play by the rules or you don't play by the rules. How can it? If the rules said you had to have a valid fishing license, and unfortunately,
they represented the case as the anglers argued that because the license was purchased before the ship re-entered North Carolina waters, the crew should not have been disqualified.
Oh, that's bull.
Yeah, it is. It's as simple as reading the rule book. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, if we go on a fishing tournament and it plainly says in the rules each person has to have the required license, then before you go out, you need to have the required license, not after you catch a fish and, oh, my God, I forgot to buy my license.
It seems to me that it would set a dangerous precedent for, like, let's say the Georgia Outdoor News big buck truck buck contest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to abide by the rules, and if you break a rule and they say, hey, you can't be entered this week, and then you take it to court and spend a lot of money. Let's say you've got a lot of money and you go in there and cause a big court battle, and the court deems, well, you know, you broke a rule, but it wasn't a significant rule, so we're going to let you slide. You know, I mean.
Well, that would be just like, okay, well, I'm going deer hunting this year, and shoot a deer first, and then buy your license next. It's against the law.
Well, and think about an orange vest. Some would argue that, you know, the orange vest, let's say a guy, he walks to his tower stand, okay, and it's an enclosed stand, it's got 6-inch gaps to shoot out of. He wears his orange vest up to the stand, but when he gets into the stand, let's say he gets hot, temperature's rising, so he takes his jacket off and he takes his vest on. He inadvertently forgets to put the orange back on while he's in the box stand, mind you. Shoots a world record buck, has the presence of mind to put the vest back on before he gets out of the stand and goes sees the buck. He's violated a law, okay?
In Georgia, yeah.
Yeah, he shot the deer without the orange on, but at the same time, common sense says, well, that's not a big deal. He was in a box, but he broke the rule. So the question would be, would he get credit for shooting the big buck? Would he get a citation or what? Well,
he should get credit for shooting the big buck illegally, basically.
Rule's a rule. I mean,
Alabama it would have been legal. Georgia is not.
It's you're either going to follow the rules or you're not, even as inconsequential as it is. Now, something like a license purchase, now that seems to be a bigger infraction.
Yeah, it does.
I can't believe they beat it. That's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I don't particularly agree with beating the rules like that. I mean, as unfortunate as it is, just like the situation you're talking about, if you shoot a world record buck like that, as unfortunate as it is, you did break the law. I mean, the law is written and it's right there in black and white. You can read it. You can interpret it in one way and one way only.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
Rules are meant to be followed, and I don't know. You know, I guess in that tournament there could have been 1,000 boats, and probably 998 of them wouldn't have a problem with them giving them the first prize, but the one that came in second they got a problem. Hey, shifting gears a little bit, the Major League Baseball draft was held yesterday in Loganville, Georgia's Clint Frazier. He's a high school ball player, really good, ranked high. He went 5th in the draft to the Cleveland Indians. So congratulations,
good deal
to Clint Frazier. He's a good ball player.
Nice. Did you see what I posted up on? I put it up on my page about too much deer pee changing the northern forest.
I saw the where it said that. I didn't read the article. I was actually getting in the truck to go to work when I saw it pop up on my phone, but I didn't get to read it.
It says the booming deer population in the northern United States is bad for the animal's beloved hemlocks, a new study finds. During Michigan winters, white-tailed deer converge on stands of young hemlocks for protection from winter chill and predators. The same deer return every year to their favorite clumps of bushy evergreens called deer yards, and the high concentration of deer in a small space saturates the soils with nitrogen from pee. And it's according to the study published online in the journal Ecology. While deer pee can be a valuable source of nitrogen, a rare necessary nutrient for plants, some deer yards are now too rich for the hemlocks to grow. So yeah, they're actually kind of hurting it a little bit.
Over fertilizing it,
and I guess they're getting it too green. But with the reduced hemlock cover available for deer, the booming white-tailed deer populations means more deer crowd in the remaining forests. So now that's what they're scared of, since they've already, some of it's already ruined some of it, or some of the deer yards. Now they're going to converge more deer into smaller places and kill the rest. So what are they going to do?
Strange.
What are you going to do? I know what's going to happen. The deer are going to adapt and find somewhere else to go.
Yep, that's what they do. Those deer yards that you see up in the north are pretty interesting. having a connection with the in-laws up in the UP, it gets so brutally cold up there, they yard up. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see one, and my brother-in-law took me. He knew where one was, and you're not supposed to, go down there and disturb them and all that. But this one happened to be right off the road. You could pretty much see them down there, but there were literally hundreds of deer down in basically a wad, trying to stay warm, and they were, I guess they would browse and eat in this one little cedar swamp type area. Mm-hmm. But I can easily see how that could happen when you were saying that. I mean, they go to the same places year in and year out, right. And just the sheer number of them, and it's I bet it does stink down there. We didn't walk down there and all, but
I bet it does.
It makes you think of the wolves and the coyotes and all this easy pickings when they get watered up in 4 feet of snow.
I guarantee you.
Yep. I think we got a call coming in this morning, don't we? We'll go ahead and take it. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoorz Radio Show. How are you?
Good, are ya?
We doing good. What's going on?
TGIF.
I heard that, brother. What you got on tap this weekend?
A lot of fishing.
A lot of fishing. Got to get them while they're biting, brother.
Yeah, I'm on. If it'll stay clear skies for a little bit, I'm gonna go this morning.
Yeah. Well, I think you're gonna be dodging a little bit there, but you can get some fishing in.
You going local or you going saltwater again?
Probably saltwater. I ain't decided yet.
Mm-hmm. Y'all done got you another boat yet?
Not yet. Yeah, we got another older boat, but we're still. I found one yesterday, and the guy had already got rid of it by the time I woke up. So, but he had a steal on his boat.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have a 30% chance of rain today. I'm looking at it now, so you probably be all right. Be a little bit windy at 11 miles an hour, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Better get out there and catch them. Be even better down there. I think the rain's pretty much gone from this area for the day.
Good.
So go catch them, load the boat. Man, I saw a lot of people putting up pictures of the past week before the storm moved in and things, and they've been catching them. Y'all been tearing them up down there. I know you have.
Yeah, my buddy, he went to the Flint River. I don't know exactly if where he put in at, but they were catching some shoal bass yesterday.
Yeah.
And I mean, they caught some fine fish yesterday. They were fighting some bad weather, but they caught some nice bass.
Good deal.
I've never caught any shoal bass. It looks like it might be a little fun, so I might have to try that out one day.
I bet it is. Any kind of bass fishing to me is fun.
Yeah, that's a big deal over there around Albany. I used to know a guy that did it. I mean, religiously. He'd get in the river on the weekends, and that does sound like a lot of fun. And they're good, hard fighting fish, from what I understand.
Oh yeah.
So, kind of like a smallmouth.
Well, that cooler is still holding nice, so maybe it'll hold it for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's still holding nice?
Yeah, it hadn't melted a whole lot.
Oh,
yeah, if you don't open it too often and take a look at it, it'll probably be there a while. You keep checking it like every 3 hours, it'll lose it.
Well, I read over that instruction manual, and I didn't find anything talking about it. So maybe that's on like last year's model, or I don't know. I'm hoping that's what it is, or maybe they didn't give me the right manual.
Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. But you read all over it, and there's nothing on conditioning in there?
Nothing on it.
Huh. Yeah, you got shorted a piece of paper there, because it's clearly on the one we got.
I guess so. I feel like if they would just keep their instruction manual and, get it all ready for you while they have it, and then keep the hat and the cup and all that other mess they give you with it, they could charge a little less for that cooler.
Mm-hmm.
They want to give you a cup and a hat, whatever else they can find.
Well, the price will probably come down a little bit, I hope. But since they got bought out, the company bought them out, so they've got better distribution and everything. So the price may come down. But then again, as good as they're selling, they may not bring the price down just yet.
They're sure selling.
Yeah, they are. I called T3. They didn't even have the 65 quart yesterday or day before yesterday. So. A lot of people. I called T3 8L and a place in I think it was Madison. They didn't none of them have it. They had like the 45s, the small one. I can't see if I got a cooler that much that much money tied up in it. I want it to be at least big enough to put whatever I got to put in it.
Yeah, you don't want to chimp out on the size of it when you got that much money invested. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, good deal, man. Go catch us some fish and let us know how you do.
All right, guys. See y'all.
All right, see you, buddy. Yeah, rubbing it in, going fishing.
Yeah, I get that a lot every time I talk to my buddies or you look on Facebook. It seems like everybody's fishing but us.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is.
Our time will come. We'll get ours.
Our time will come.
We'll get ours. I guarantee you. I'm going to go have some fun this weekend. I hope I'm going to have some fun. Anyway, I hope the weather's not too bad. We'll go out 30 or 40 miles and don't want to get too messed up with it.
Yep.
So we got to take a break there. All right, well, let's take a break here on the Good Outdoors. Thanks for listening, everybody.
There's only one place in Valdosta if you want the freshest seafood in town. It's Bubba Jack's Crab Shack at 1700 West Hill Avenue. They got wild Georgia shrimp cooked about any way you could want it. Fried, peel and eat, grilled, or buffalo style. They got a Wednesday night oyster special at $7.99 a dozen, and that ain't no mistake. $7.99 a dozen, Wednesday night only. Bring the kids with you, and if they don't eat seafood, get them some chicken tender baskets or hamburger or hot dog. And do not forget to try the fresh cut, hand-dipped onion rings at Bubba Jack's Crab Shack, 1700 West Hill Avenue, Valdosta. Val Optics on Patterson Street in Valdosta, Georgia has been providing 1-hour service for 25 years. From eyeglass repair to eye exams conducted by one of 2 on-site optometrists, Val Optics is there for all of your eyesight concerns. There is no need for an appointment and most insurances are accepted. Val Optics also accepts outside prescriptions. So if you need eyeglass repair or an eye exam, stop by Val Optics at 601 North Patterson Street, Valdosta, Georgia. 25 years in business says it all. Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200.
Hey, this is Judd with T3 Outdoors. T3 Outdoors is Valdosta's newest Blue Buffalo dog feed dealer. We also carry 50-pound, 13% sweet feed for $8.99. But hey, feed isn't all we do at T3 Outdoors. We have one of the best selections of guns in town at some of the best prices. We buy, sell, trade, and consign guns daily. Last but not least, archery season will be here before you know it. We are Valdosta's exclusive Hoyt and Bowtech dealer with 2013 packages starting under $650. Please visit us at t3outdoors.com to learn more today.
Hello, everyone. Dim the lights. Let's do this. Let's get to it. Let's go.
Introducing the winner of Austin's Idol and receiving a $1,000 Austin's gift card, Mr. Steve Seller.
If you want a steak, a salad or fish plate, maybe drink a beer with a friend. Come in as you are, it ain't just a bar at the SCC. The good times never end, a basket full of peanuts, and the best part is, it's an addiction you never have to quit. If you need a break, come along with me to Austin's Cattle Company. Oh yeah, to Austin's Cattle Company.
Austin's would like to thank everyone that participated in the contest and helping Austin's to remain an addiction you never have to quit. Congratulations to our winner and thank you from Austin's Cattle Company.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Welcome back to the Good Outdoors on Feel Good Friday, man. Let's get this thing started. I want some phone calls coming up in here. 229-253-0995. Tell us what you're doing this weekend. Tell us what your plans are. Mine, I'm leaving today around lunchtime, going to Crystal River, Florida. There's a big cobia tournament down there. I'm going to do some filming with some guys down there and have just loads and loads of fun, I guarantee you. Weather's going to be turned out pretty nice down there. And
y'all going 100 miles out.
Got 2 boats. One boat's going 100 miles out, and the other one's going, anywhere from 15 to 30 to maybe possibly 40.
That's still a long ways, but
Yes,
100
long way.
miles.
100 miles.
I can't imagine. I've never went out 100 miles.
I'm looking forward to it. It don't matter to me which one, I'm on filming. I don't care. I just want to go. If it's 100 miles, I'll go 100 miles. Maybe maybe I'll talk them into letting me reel in just one fish, just one.
Well, a lot of times the old cameraman gets on the bone every now and then, so maybe you will.
They get on some big fish or something.
No, it's a tournament, obviously, so.
That's right.
What do you know what teams you're filming, or what's the deal there?
I have no idea. There's 200 boats in this tournament.
200 boats.
200 boats in this tournament, and it's filled up. Maximum capacity, I think, is $14,000 a purse in it. I don't know what it is. I think it's $125 per boat. I don't really remember. But it's a lot of money, and we're out there to try to win it. Of course, every boat out there is. The captain's meeting is actually tonight, so I'll be at it, doing a little filming there and get to see the action. Then we'll be. I don't know what time it starts. I know nothing about it really, except there's 200 boats in it. I've been watching it on Facebook. Big cobia tournament. A lot of people have been practicing up for it for a couple of weeks. Justin and the crew, they went out this past Sunday and practiced some. Did pretty good. Found some fish, but who knows if they're going to find them again this weekend. Weigh in Saturday at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 4 o'clock. So go 100 miles out, you ain't got a whole lot of fishing time. So you better know where you at.
Yeah, you got to get there and get it done and get back, man, because it'd be tragic to get out there and wear them out and have a winning catch and then not make it back to the dang scales in time. That was
it would be rough, but yeah, it's going to be exciting. We're going to get down there and have some fun with it and do some filming, have some good times, and see what we can make of it. Anybody else got any plans this weekend?
I'm sure they do. They just got to call us and let us know about it.
229-253-0995. Tell us what you're going to do.
I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend. I got the wedding to do. That's not going to last very long on Saturday, and that's going to free me up the rest of the weekend. And I really don't have much planned. I wouldn't mind trying to go catch a fish somewhere. I might try to work on that a little bit, see what I can do. I'd like to go do a little bass fishing. I discovered a new little pond there in our neighborhood, and kids and I took a walk there day before yesterday, and man, I could smell something bedding. I'm assuming it's brim, and I'm thinking about at least canvassing that little pond with a beetle spin or something, see what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Then we seen a big old fish or something strike something on the edge, so I'm thinking maybe there's some bass in it, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. Do a little recon action on the pond, see what I can catch. You never know. I did that one time over in Brunswick. A guy told me there was a pond there in our neighborhood, and I never saw nobody fishing there. And I'd walk the dog around it, and I'd smell fish like that, and they'd all say, "Man, there ain't no fish in the pond. Ain't no fish in the pond." And I happened to be walking by there one day, and I looked down in the water. It was pretty clear, and I saw a bass about 2 pounds. And I said, "Well, shoot, if there's a 2-pound bass in there's got to be fish in here." So, make a long story short, within the next day or two, I got my stuff together and cruised around that thing with a beetle spin, and man, I was tearing some brim up.
Really?
Good, yeah, good hand-sized brim. I'd catch them and throw them back, and I said, "Well, shoot, I saw that bass, and there's got to be a bass in there." And for some reason, I had ended up over there, and I had my bait caster, but all I had was a rattle trap on it. And I said, "Well, I'll just throw it, give me something to do." And I went over there, and I chucked it out there a few times, and lo and behold, next thing you know, I'd caught a 7.5-pound bass.
Golly.
Sure did. And then one of the old men in the neighborhood was watching, and he saw me catch it. He come out there, and he was just oohing and ahhing. I said, "Man, I didn't even think there was any fish in here." And come out the next day, there was 27 people out there fishing. That's how it works, don't it? But from then on, they were, and then people started feeding the fish and all, and it was pretty cool. That was a nice little pond, and I don't think I ever caught another bass in the dang thing. I fished, or if I did, they were small. They're small enough not to make an impact to make me remember anyway.
A lot of people started fishing it. They might have caught the bigger bass out,
Could have, yeah. I threw the one I caught. I threw back. So and all the brim, I threw them back too. But there were some nice brim in there.
The best bass fishing best time I've ever had was when I lived out there off Valdale Road. On that pond that you come
nice
over and fished.
Yeah, I did.
That is the absolute most fun I've ever had. That it was overstocked with bass, and you needed to keep some bass out there. And I kept that 1 year, and if I still remember right, it was 386 that we caught and kept out of there in that 1 year. But we went after work one day, me and 2 other guys, carried Daddy's boat down there, had it ready, and we absolutely solidly loaded, fish only, 48-quart cooler with bass in about 2.5 hours in the afternoon after work. And there was no water, no nothing. It's just fish in this cooler. None of them were over 2 pounds. Yeah, none of them.
That's a lot of fish.
They could not put the lid on this thing. We actually had to get them a bucket. They were carrying them home because, I mean, I had plenty of fish. We all had fish in the freezer from that place, but they had to get a bucket to put the rest of them in just so they could put the lid on the cooler. And that needed to happen for that pond. That and so much more needed to happen for that pond.
Well, I mean, you're still in good standing with that particular pond owner. I think it's time for a phone call. And
I think so.
Let's go out there and see if the conservation efforts that you started pay it off.
We could honestly go out there, though. You know, we'd had the kids these little Barbie rod and reels. They were reeling bass in on these things.
Man, I bet that was a nice fight.
The day I carried these two guys out there, you know, I was fishing in front of the boat, you know, driving the boat. And this older gentleman sitting in the back, great guy from Florida down there, he said, well, you know what? The guy's not supposed to be catching all the doggone fish. I said, well, that's all right. And I just took my rod and reel and threw it behind me like that. You know, just instead of throwing it to the bank, I just threw it behind me there. I said, that don't matter to me, and caught a fish. It was just
loaded. It
was loaded, and it had great catfishing in it, man. It had a good ledge out there you could catch catfish on, and we used to feed the catfish up there and the brim at the dock. And I caught some good 5, 6, 7 pound channel catfish out of that pond too. And we'd catch and release on the catfish. We'd put them back in there. Loaded with brim, went down there, and the brim, I mean, hand-sized brim, just huge. But bass were everywhere. I mean, you'd go down there in the afternoon in the middle of the summer on the afternoon, and I'd be mowing or something, and the fish would be hitting out there, and I'd have to quit and run to the house, get my rod and reel, go down there.
Tempting.
It wouldn't take 5 minutes to catch 3 bass.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun.
That's good. I don't care what size they are. If you go and you're catching fish, it's pretty interesting for a while.
Yeah, it got kind of old because you never caught nothing big, but it was fun. Hey, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back here on the Good Outdoors.
With over 40,000 machines in the field, the pro's choice is Dixie Chopper. Be a pro. Buy a chopper. Built right here in America with one simple goal. Build a mower that cuts more grass and doesn't break when you use it. Be a pro. Buy a chopper. With Chopper's price, performance, and reliability guarantee, make the smart choice. Be a pro. Buy a chopper.
We're running out of time. We're drawing the line. This is our battle cry.
Huntin' is Good TV is an action-packed hunting show with a mission to secure our hunting heritage. Join Steve Nichols, Trey Weatherington, and Neil Armati each week as they hunt across the U.S. and Canada with pro athletes, actors, wounded warriors, kids, and regular old Joes who know hunting is good. Huntin' is Good TV airs on Pursuit Channel and is available on Dish Network Channel 240 and DirecTV Channel 604. For more info, visit huntingisgoodtv.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/HIG TV show. You can also use your high-speed internet connection to watch online by logging on to filmon.com at the airtimes posted on our website. And remember, hunting is good.
This is our battle cry.
Justamere Farm is a full boarding, training, and lessons facility conveniently located on Valdale Road in Hayhire. Justamere Farm offers a facility like no other in the area with many amenities that meet all your equine needs, whether it's riding, training, or boarding. If riding is your passion, Justamere has you covered with an indoor arena, a large lighted outdoor arena with an alleyway, a large jump course arena, a round pen for training, trails, and access to dirt roads. Private and shared lessons are available, so give Justamere Farms a call today at 229-460-2331.
So, Dawson, is Dad still ill about you calling him out on his shooting ability?
I don't think so, but I have seen him on the range a lot more lately.
Dad always says practice makes perfect.
That's what he says, but I don't think it works for adults.
Why do you say that?
Well, from the look of the scorecard, it's making it worse.
Dawson, bring me some more shotgun shells.
Okay, Dad.
If you need some practice, come by Southwind Clays and Quail on the Quitman Highway just past the river headed towards Quitman. With a top-notch clubhouse, a 5-stand, sporting clays range, as well as a rifle and pistol range, Southwind has what you need to succeed. World-class quail hunting is also available with some of the finest bird dogs around.
Dad sure shoots a lot.
Yeah, if he keeps this up, Mom's gonna be mad.
Why is that?
because he's spending all Mom's shopping money on shotgun shells.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Welcome back this morning, man, on the Good Outdoors. It's Feel Good Friday. I feel good. I'm getting out of town this weekend. Going to have some fun. Yeah. I feel good.
Man, the big old, we talked about the cicada hatch, the little bugs and all that. They mixed emotions on it. Some people have been severely disappointed with it, and then some people are totally relieved. Wild estimates were tossed around to describe how many of them would be expected to crawl out of the ground and fly around. But some said there could be up to 30 billion. Some had estimated even 1 trillion of them. And others had said the cicadas would outnumber people 600 to 1.
So what has there been, 15 of them spotted, I think?
It don't say that, but it says now that the emergence is in full bloom and in some places likely reaching its end, residents in much of New York City, Washington, D.C., and other urban areas along the eastern seaboard might be feeling cheated or relieved, depending on how you look at it. Mm-hmm. But if you live in an area between North Carolina and Connecticut and still haven't seen any of the empty nymph shells or heard the deafening chorus distinct to cicadas, don't be surprised. They're super abundant, but they can be quite localized. So, there may be millions and millions of them in a very small place. And in some places, their populations may be getting spottier due to urban development. Even so, scientists who study the periodical cicadas say pinpointing actual numbers for the brood would be like making wild guesstimates. And only a few studies have been tried to count them. So they don't really know how many, there are. But one said in 1956, researchers from the University of Chicago took a census of brood 7, which is a particular pod of them, or the northern Illinois brood, and they counted an average of 311 emergence hole per square yard of ground in a forested area, which is pretty saturated.
Man.
And that estimate was for 1.5 million per acre.
Good grief.
Of that range. So I'm sure there's a ton of them, but it could be happening out in an area where there's not a lot of people and you don't really know it, but still a very interesting creature when you think about it. 17-year life cycle.
That is kind of weird, and only a little bit of it is spent above the ground.
Very little, yeah, very small portion of it. It's just a crazy animal or crazy insect, I should say. So, but
that's strange.
I don't know. If they're if they did outnumber humans 600 to 1. And they suddenly appeared in downtown Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh boy,
it'd be chaotic.
And what would it be like if they had teeth? And they got hungry.
Yeah, it's a good thing that they don't bite. I guess they don't bite. I hadn't heard that they did.
I hadn't either. What is the shortest lifespan of any animal or insect in the wild, you reckon?
I don't know. I've always heard a mosquito's lifespan is pretty short, but I wouldn't dare say it's the shortest. I don't know. It'd be a good question to ask the Google gods.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody knows that. What insect has the shortest lifespan of only 3 or 4 hours? And I'm asking the computer that right now.
Why are you asking of only 3 or 4 hours?
Well, that's just the thing I clicked on.
Oh, you clicked on it.
And I didn't get an answer on that. But and a lot of them have short lifespans, I guess. I mean, here, maybe I'll have a question. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Something's 3 days. Animal shortest is the gastostrich. It's 3 days. I don't know what the heck that is. The shortest of an insect is a mayfly, and it could be as short as 5 minutes. And the longest are queen ants, could be as longest as 28 years, according to this. Don't know whether that's true or not. 28 years. That's and a mayfly only 5 minutes. What the heck's happened to him?
I actually saw a mayfly hatch up in I think it was mayflies. I don't really know what it was, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But we were driving along a lake up in the Upper Peninsula there, just past the bridge going into the UP. Matter of fact, it was you go over this bridge, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's this big, huge bridge that connects the lower state of Michigan up with the UP. Went over the bridge and kind of hugged the lake to the left, and man, all of a sudden, I mean, to say it was an infestation is just not even accurate. My windshield, I thought it was raining, and I had to turn my windshield wipers on high to hit them off of there as we go, and I had to slow down, and the highway was literally covered for about 100-yard maybe section of highway, and they were little flies, or actually pretty big flies, but I think I finally figured out that they were mayflies, but it was a mayfly hatch. And I can see why they don't last long, because where they were hatching at, they were getting squished and hit by the cars and all. So,
well, I did find a pretty good one here. Has a list of them, like elephants, 69 years. A turkey buzzard, it said, and I can't believe this, 118 years. A swan, 102 years. A parrot, 80 years. Maybe I could see a parrot in captivity. A catfish, 60 years. The giant tortoise beats all of them, 150 years. Giant salamander, possibly 55 years. The cicada on insects is 17 years. And that's a turkey buzzard, 118 years, really? That's kind of hard to believe.
That is.
And a hummingbird, 8 years.
Hummingbird, you would that actually honestly sounds like a long time for hummingbird. As hard as they work, to stay in the air.
But the shortest still is the gastostrich. And
no, I found something now. It's the mayfly.
Well, yeah, but that's an insect. The animal is the gastostrich.
Yeah,
but the mayfly can be the mayfly can be anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes to 1 day. But the gastostrich is an animal. Shortest lived was 3 days. And I don't even know what it does because it don't look like an animal. But
bacteria, if you consider bacteria animals, there's several bacteria that have life cycles of only 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. Some of them do, but that's amazing. Though the life cycles of different animals and insects in the world, and mayflies life expectancy 1 to 24 hours. Drone ants life expectancy 3 weeks. Really?
Well, here's
worker
one that
bees
takes
4 weeks.
Here's the one that takes the cake. Talking about the I just read it. If you don't consider bacteria animals, whatever it says, then the case can alternatively be made for the male of the mite called Acarophoenix triboli, which develops inside the body of its mother, fertilizes its female siblings, and then dies before it is even born.
Golly.
So that one definitely takes the cake.
That ain't no fun. Hey, we got a call coming in. Let's take it this morning. Morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors.
Good morning. This is Chris and Bob.
Hey, Chris,
what's happening, man?
Feel Good Friday.
Feel Good Friday. That's right.
Y'all talking about? I've often thought, I'm a heavy thinker.
Be careful.
If you was to take a deer to the dentist,
yeah,
how long could a deer live if you gave him good dental care?
Yeah, I see your point there. Probably a long time, but you think about how rough the way a deer eats is on his teeth. He eats corn right off the ground, so you get a lot of sand in there.
They'll actually lick the dirt like a horse.
Yep, that's right. And the minerals and stuff that they lick out of the dirt, that's what they're doing when they lick the dirt. But it wears them teeth down. But I'm like you. If he had good dental hygiene, man, he probably
how long could that sucker live?
Probably could live as long as we would.
Mm-hmm. What is the longest that you've ever heard of a deer living?
8 years.
8 years.
The longest I've heard of one in captivity was 14, I believe. 14
that's
years.
a long time.
Yeah, that's a highly controlled environment. Matter of fact, what's the deer's name that
Dadgum armadillo. Woo!
Look out now. Easy now.
Get him.
I missed him.
Armadillos live a long time, by the way. But
if they stay off the road.
Yeah, but that buck that they carry around Jeffrey's Eldridge and those guys have that buck that they raised. Yeah, he's old. He's over 10 years old.
One article they can live up to 10 years in the wild, but in captivity they say they can live up to 20 years. I don't know what the oldest one is yet, but I know it's close to 20 years from what I've seen before.
All right, well that was just a thought.
Yeah, it can be a long way. Yeah, that'd be something to try though.
Yeah, brush his teeth and go to the dentist for fillings and cleanings and.
Yeah, don't forget the floss.
That's right. Appreciate you calling, buddy.
All right, y'all have a good.
See you, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. Animals, they got it rough out there, dude. They don't have dental care, health care, and they get sick and die just like we do. They get a cold. They die of heart attacks, cancer, tumors. They get the same thing we get sometimes.
They sure do. A lot of insects. Insects play a huge part in how long a deer can live because they can get so many different infections from them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's anywhere. I would say average lifespan in the wild probably maybe 7 years, maybe. Unshot, of course, unhunted.
Yeah, unshot.
But I wouldn't think they live no more than 6, 7, 8 years, and that's pretty much what I've found on all of them. Say they can live up to 10 years, and in captivity up to 20 years. But I haven't found how old the oldest one yet. So I don't know. 20 years is a long time, but I don't see where one has lived 20 years yet. They say it can live up to 20 years.
It's possible that it lives that long, huh?
Possible. Well, it's possible for me to live to 120. It's just not likely. It said each article I find says actually a whitetail deer can live close to 20 years. Okay, so what have you got? 1 to 19?
Yeah.
None of them tell me the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know why they trick you into going to those sites and you look at the ads. You know?
That's every one of them is like that. But interesting facts about deer. Deer and moose, elk, all of them. You would think a northern deer in extreme northern climates like Upper Peninsula of Michigan and Canada, you would think it's a shorter lifespan. Because the older they get, the rougher it is going through them winters on them.
Yeah, no doubt. Lifespan in the South's got to be longer than the lifespan in Canada. I agree with that.
Hey, we got to take another break here. We'll be right back on the Good Outdoors in about 3 minutes.
Attention Outdoor Nation. Adel Outfitters, located at exit 39 on I-75 in Adel, Georgia, has over 18,000 square feet of outdoor unbelievability just waiting on you. Specializing in a wide range of outdoor supplies for everyone, including hunting, fishing, shooting, kayaking, camping, Little League, clothing, knives, boots, you name it, Adel Outfitters has it. They also have that personal one-on-one attention that you just might not be getting from some of the big boxes, and Adel Outfitters has a whole lot less overhead, so you'll be surprised at the deals. So come see us now at Adel Outfitters, exit 39, Adel, Georgia. Woo-wee! Sweet Tea Smokehouse on South Hutchinson Avenue, Adel is the bomb. You ain't had good old South Georgia barbecue if you ain't been to Sweet Tea Smokehouse. Ribs, chicken, pork, beef, good grief, this is some fine eating. And it ain't called Sweet Teas for nothing. Ice cold sweet tea and good old barbecue plate with all the trimmings is what living in the South is all about. Head up Highway 41 north towards Adel. Swing into Sweet Tea Smokehouse for lunch or dinner. Great southern barbecue like it's supposed to be. And don't forget some of that fine Brunswick stew. Woo-wee!
Wow, look at Bob trimming the grass. He's so fast.
Yeah. I know, and that mower is so big.
And it's got a huge deck.
And it cuts the long grass with deep roots so easily.
Yeah, Bob's a bad boy.
When you want to cut grass like a champion, get yourself a Bad Boy mower from Nashville Tractor. Nashville Tractor carries an exclusive line of Bad Boy zero-turn mowers. See them now at Nashville Tractor in Valdosta and in Nashville.
The grill might be in storage, but that's what campfires are for. And the backyard party is on hiatus, but that's because everyone is tailgating. Only the seasons change, tastes don't, and when you've got Bud Light Lime, you don't need summer to have a good time. It's the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Look for a Bud Light Lime and find your summer state of mind anytime. It's in the lime. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Lime flavored beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brigman and Brigman Cabinets in Hayhira, Georgia specializes in custom-built cabinets. You can come in and sit down with our staff and start from scratch to develop the perfect cabinet layout. Or bring in your plans and start there. From design to installation, Brigman and Brigman can help you every step of the way. Estimates are always free, and your satisfaction is our goal. Whether it's a remodel, a spec house, or your custom-built dream home, give Brigman and Brigman Cabinets in Hayhira a call at 229-794-2108 to set up an appointment. Crystal River Seafood on St. Augustine Road in Valdosta is a fine seafood dining experience. Folks from miles around come in to enjoy the fine seafood and friendly atmosphere Crystal River has to offer. Their friendly staff makes your dining experience one to remember, as well as one to repeat. Fish like grouper, salmon, mahi, catfish are always great choices, along with shrimp, oysters, crab cakes, and crab legs. Hey, you're not in the mood for seafood? Order a juicy ribeye steak. Crystal River Seafood is open for lunch and dinner. Crystal River Seafood, 958 St. Augustine Road, Valdosta, Georgia.
WKAA, Willacoochee, Valdosta. Another hour of Valdosta's best country music kicks off now. 99.5
Kicks Country.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Feel Good Friday on the Good Outdoors. That's what's going on. Steve's got some good facts. We've been talking about white-tailed deer and how long they can live. And okay,
that led to me stumbling upon a website that has some interesting white-tailed deer facts that you may or may not know. And there's a bunch of them there, and there's a lot of them that I didn't necessarily know that I find interesting. But the heaviest white-tailed deer on record weighed 402 pounds field dressed.
Golly, that's a big old sucker.
It was taken by a Minnesota hunter in 1926 and had an estimated live weight of 511 pounds. That is incredible.
Golly.
We were just talking about
how long? Say how long ago that was?
1926.
26. Good grief.
That is that's insane. And that was a wild deer harvested. You know, that was a big deer. How could you miss that deer? He was so big.
And like we were talking about during the break, if that deer I killed last year, where I killed it, way up in there, would have weighed that much, we'd have been in trouble.
Oh, I'd have been sick that I went with you that day.
We would have had to go. There's no way we could have drug that out. No way 4 guys could have drug it out. We'd have had to go get the tractor and try to get it in the woods.
We'd have had to pack it out like an elk in Colorado.
Golly.
Another interesting. A couple other interesting things here. 2 white-tailed deer can produce, in other words, a buck and a doe, can produce 35 offspring in 7 years. That's pretty good. That's 35 offspring in 7 years.
The same buck and doe together?
Well, no, it don't. It just says 2 white-tailed deer, so maybe it's talking about just two does.
Because that one doe is not going to produce 35 in 7 years.
No, that's 5
That's
a year.
impossible.
That's 5 a year. So I guess what they're saying is 2.5 per doe is the average. Mm-hmm. The U.S. white-tailed deer population consumes 100 billion pounds of native plant food per year, or almost 132,000 tons per day.
Wow.
Virginia deer hunters donate 365,000 pounds of venison to soup kitchens and food banks annually in their Hunters for the Hunger program. 365,000 pounds. The typical whitetail world record shot by Milo Hansen in 1993 scored 213 5/8 and had an inside spread of 27.2 inches.
27 inches wide.
Deer can run up to 40 miles per hour, which is fast, but they can jump a 9-foot high fence.
Mm-hmm.
That's extremely high. They could definitely dunk a basketball goal.
I guarantee they could.
We know they can run fast. We know they can jump high, and they can also swim 13 miles per hour.
Really? I knew they could swim good. I didn't know they could swim 13 miles an hour.
That's faster than some boat motors will run. White-tailed deer can long jump 30 feet.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
So they can jump over an entire highway without touching the asphalt.
Strange.
They need to practice and learn and do it more.
Yeah, white-tailed deer and mule deer are the only deer species native to North America.
Mm-mm.
They're considered fully grown at 4.5 years old. Now that's surprising to me. I figured they'd be fully grown at 2 years old, but they're not considered fully grown until they're 4.5 years old. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Female white-tailed doe are in heat for 30 hours. If they are not bred in that 30-hour period, they go back in heat 28 days later.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have a second rut and a third rut and sometimes a fourth rut.
Mm-hmm.
We got a call coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors. How are you?
What's the matter with you?
I don't know what's the matter with me. What's the matter with you?
You didn't know deer could jump that high?
No, I didn't know they could jump 9 feet specifically. No, I did not.
Oh, come on, man. Did you never watch Rudolph when Clarice kissed him? He jumped 100 feet high.
Well, 100 feet high, that's different than 9 feet.
Well, Clarissa kissed me, too. I'd probably jump 100 feet high.
If anybody kissed me right now, I'd jump 9 feet high.
Darrell, get away from him. Get away.
What's going on, guys?
Don't know what you up to.
Getting ready for the weekend, buddy.
I hear you. Me too. Me
Got
too.
one more trip, and I'll be cooking out this weekend. Ain't you gonna miss it?
Oh man.
Yeah,
Dang it,
yeah,
that sucks.
yeah. Maybe you have to save me a plate. What'd you say you were cooking?
We're cooking steaks and ribs and hog and
Hang up.
sausage.
Hang up on him.
No, winter. Excuse me. When are you cooking it?
Saturday, Steve. So after you get through filming, just come out of the
I
house.
was about to say I might be able to squeeze that in.
There you go. Come on. Hey, have you ever eat? The reason I was calling you is talking about food. I want to ask, have you ever eat surami?
Huh?
Surami.
Surami. S-U-R-M-I. Surami.
No, I have not. I've not eaten surami.
I bet you have too. Have you ever eat the imitation crab meat?
Yeah. I have
That's
not
what it-
because I don't like crab. So
Well, that's what it is. I was doing a survey. I was looking at the little skit on it last night, and it said 140 billion tons a year being sold in North America.
Well, what is in imitation crab meat?
Surami.
It's some kind of mixture that they mix from over in I think it's Japan or China. I can't remember which one's from, but
Same thing.
yeah, there you go. It's the same thing. But anyway, it's a mixture. They freeze it in blocks. It's frozen blocks, and then they add all the seasoning to it, and then they run it through a machine, and it chops it up in the chunks or the round cylinders that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And the flavoring that's added to it. They said it's kind of like if it didn't have the flavor to it, they said it would have no taste at all.
That's weird.
But you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch how they make it, how it's made. It's pretty cool.
Well, they're not false advertising because they call it imitation crab.
Yep,
So they are imitating it.
And it's used in a lot of different store-bought, seafood stir fries and stuff. Is a lot of
And you would be
imitation crab.
surprised. He also said on there too. You would be surprised. It's the number one selling food on the coastal states.
I don't doubt it.
That was unreal.
That is unreal there. Interesting.
I don't doubt it.
Well, anyway, be careful there on your trip, buddy.
I will, man. I'm going to have some fun.
All right, guys. I'll holler at you later.
Appreciate you calling, man.
Please.
Surami.
I always
surami.
always knew a deer could see good.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know it could actually see 310 degrees.
Oh yeah, they got
without moving its head.
Yeah, they can catch movement from all angles like a turkey.
But it just makes it hard. The way their eyes are positioned makes it hard to. And I understand it's hard for them to focus on an object.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they'll catch that movement and heartbeat, but sometimes they're not as surprised by it.
Mm-hmm. White-tailed deer antlers are interesting. They can grow as much as a half inch per day in the spring and summer.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the fastest growing animal tissue known to man. Yep. They do a lot of studies. They study that tissue and they do research on it to see how they can relate that in the medical field to help save lives. So it's an interesting thing. White-tailed deer fawns weigh between 5 and 7 pounds when born. So that's kind of along the size of a human baby when it's born. Mm-hmm. They can walk slowly and shaky. After being born for 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, 20 minutes. They are up on their feet.
Aubrey's been born for a year, and she's barely walking herself.
Yeah, but she is doing it, though. I saw her. It's estimated there are over 30 million white-tailed deer in the United States. White-tailed deer have an average lifespan in the wild of 8 to 11 years. So we're our guess was 7 to 8, so we were right there in the neighborhood. The oldest white-tailed deer on record lived to be 19 years old, according to this stat.
That's why they kept saying close to 20 years in captivity. Huh?
Yep. The average white-tailed deer stands 3 to 3.5 feet tall and weighs 150 pounds. That's the average. So that wraps up the fast facts of the white-tailed deer.
The fawn is born with 8 incisors and canine teeth. Born that way. After about a week, 4 premolars come in. And by a month of age, the last pair of premolars are already in place. And they had 3 cusp or crowns on them. And at 3 months, the first set of molars, and the second set at 6 months. Man, by 2.5 years old, the deer has all its permanent teeth.
Some rapid development there.
Rapid development. Man, that's great. But I didn't think they could jump a 9-foot fence. And I've watched all these shows, Dr. Kroll and all of them on there, Gordon Whittington, all of them. I've seen them walk up to a fence, and people think when they jump a fence, they run and jump. But no, they walk up to the base of it, basically get right up next to it, these high fences, and they'll leap just straight up and over this fence. And I wonder how many times they've tried and failed at that.
I don't know.
But yeah, I've seen them jump 6-foot fence like it was nothing. Just walk up to it and jump over it and go in there and eat. And
ease right over it.
So, they can jump a long way, jump real high. So a true deer-proof fence would have to be 10 foot. It'd have to be 10. A true deer-proof fence would have to be 10 foot.
Yeah, and it's most game fences are 7 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
I guess just because they can jump that high, most of them don't attempt it, evidently. But every year in Texas they have big bucks get out, and I think in Ohio up there, I think some of the reason that you get such crazy antler growth is because there's so many Amish people that raise deer that are they really look at the genetics and they really drill down and raise big deer, and I think every now and then they get out. When you think, well, that big buck, he don't let that big buck get out. It ain't just the buck. Mm-hmm. If the doe, if a doe with that genetic makeup gets out and gets bred, I think that's what's populated the state, and that's why there's so many big deer up there.
Well, the does are just an important tool.
Exactly.
Having a quality doe as a quality buck is.
Yep, no doubt.
Hey, let's take this call right quick. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors.
Good morning.
What's
you
happening?
ever seen that fence that goes around Miller Brewer and Albany?
Yep, I sure
I
have.
seen one. I used to drive a truck out of it, and I seen one. I jumped and hit side that fence twice, and that third time he right over it he went. Just couldn't do everything.
Yeah, that's a tall fence. That fence.
I thought to myself, he gonna kill. I said, that's who's gonna kill himself, and he didn't. But about the third time he run into it, or second time. That third time he went right on over like he wasn't there.
Yeah, that's at least a 6 or 7 foot tall fence.
Yeah, that goes feel like it just surprised the heck out of me. I said, ain't no way. I just seen what I saw.
They can jump now. They're amazing animals.
All right, well, I thought I'd throw that in there. Y'all have a great day and a big weekend, and just film up all that good stuff.
I'm gonna try.
We'll do it,
all
man.
right.
See you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's they can jump. That's interesting facts, and just like you said about the does are just as important as the bucks in breeding these deer. We might cover some of that. We'll be right back here in about 3 minutes on the Good Outdoors. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200. It's that time of year. People everywhere will be scrambling to find somebody to take care of filing their taxes. Fast Tax and Bookkeeping at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q has a quick turnaround time and the knowledge to prepare your taxes properly, making sure you are getting what's due. With $25 1040 EZ filings, electronic refunds in a flash, military and college student discounts, and fast and friendly service, drop by and see Lisa Griffiths and the gang at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q, or give them a call at 229-253-0181 to schedule an appointment.
SWAT Graphics, located at 300 South Toombs Street, is the area's #1 graphic design service company. Specializing in graphic banners, stickers, signs, and design, SWAT Graphics can help from concept to completion. If you have a design idea for a company logo, SWAT Graphics can bring it to reality. Maybe you have a logo and just need it placed on a sign, sticker, or banner. Whatever the case, stop by SWAT Graphics at 300 South Toombs Street, Valdosta, or give them a call at 241-9185. SWAT Graphics, proud sponsor of the Good Outdoors.
Hey, this is Judd with T3 Outdoors. T3 Outdoors is Valdosta's newest Blue Buffalo dog feed dealer. We also carry 50-pound 13% sweet feed for $8.99. But hey, feed isn't all we do at T3 Outdoors. We have one of the best selections of guns in town at some of the best prices. We buy, sell, trade, and consign guns daily. Last but not least, archery season will be here before you know it. We are Valdosta's exclusive Hoyt and Bowtech dealer with 2013 packages starting under $650. Please visit us at T3Outdoors.com to learn more today.
The There's only one place in Valdosta if you want the freshest seafood in town. It's Bubba Jack's Crab Shack at 1700 West Hill Avenue. They got wild Georgia shrimp cooked about any way you could want it. Fried, peel and eat, grilled, or buffalo style. They got a Wednesday night oyster special at $7.99 a dozen, and that ain't no mistake. $7.99 a dozen, Wednesday night only. Bring the kids with you, and if they don't eat seafood, get them some chicken tender baskets or hamburger or hot dog. And do not forget to try the fresh cut, hand-dipped onion rings at Bubba Jack's Crab Shack, 1700 West Hill Avenue, Valdosta.
Justamere Farm is a full boarding, training, and lessons facility conveniently located on Valdale Road in Hayhire. Justamere Farm offers a facility like no other in the area with many amenities to meet all your equine needs, whether it's riding, training, or boarding. If riding is your passion, Justamere has you covered with an indoor arena, a large lighted outdoor arena with an alleyway, a large jump course arena, a round pen for training, trails, and access to dirt roads. Private and shared lessons are available, so give Justamere Farms a call today at 229-460-2331.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Welcome back to The Good Outdoors. Been talking a lot about deer this morning, the lifespans of them, cycles of them, and just in general facts. And we got on the whitetail farms, the breeding farms, and what they're doing and everything. And man, it's unbelievable how these people do. I was talking to Brett at Buckeye Whitetail Quest earlier this year, and this was over a month and a half ago. And he told me, he said, man, you come up, this right when we went to Ohio, he said, if you get a chance to come over here, he said, you got to come on. I've already got deer with split brow tines, you know, in their breeding facility. You know, they have it down to an art, to a science. These places that do this and do it for a living, it's unbelievable how much time and effort goes into it, how much research has gone into it.
Yeah.
You know, they not only produce these giant bucks and sell them, but they also sell these breeder does.
Mm-hmm.
And these breeder does can bring high dollar also.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just an art to it. Artificial insemination in a lot of them.
Yeah, most of them, matter of fact, is on the bigger farms are artificially inseminated now.
Mm-hmm. They sure
They
are.
sell straws of semen, you know, and you can sell a straw of semen from one breeder to the next could go for thousands of dollars if it comes off a certain buck, you know, and
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and you know people don't realize this, but they're growing deer over 400 inches of antler now.
They sure are
in captivity, and I don't know what the largest one. You could find out, but it's
I don't remember
massive.
Either. It
massive.
is. It's huge. It's over. I think it's close to 500 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Brett actually had a replica. As a matter of fact, when I was up there, he just got a replica of the largest, non-typical, you know, of course.
Oh yeah.
And that's ever been recorded, and that thing was just massive. I don't understand. I mean, I love the look of a non-typical. I really do. I'm looking at one called Dropzilla in 2008, and he has 2007 has massive amount of drop tines. He has matching drops. I mean, shoot, he's got four or five drop tines. I see people want to see that. He's got huge brow tines also, but what about a typical? Why do they? The reason they doing all these non-typicals is the genetics and the steroids and everything they're giving them. That's what makes them go non-typical.
Mm-hmm.
But why are they not trying to breed a typical one or trying to do a typical deer like that and make it a new world record?
I don't know this to be fact, but I think when they start pumping all those proteins in them and trying to grow them big, fast, and all, the antlers turn into non-typical.
Right.
And I don't think since it's a natural progression necessarily that they stay typical. And a lot of these places I've went to. Matter of fact, all of them that I've went to, and I've went to, I guess, probably 6 or 7 different ones, they all have an inordinate amount of non-typical bucks. And I think it's because of that. And one of the things I wanted to do was shoot, you know, a nice, big, symmetrical, clean 10-point. That's one of the things I want to do, and it's hard. It's probably harder to do that than it is to shoot a 200-inch buck at most of these places because of that, you know, the abnormal points of coming out. And I don't know that, you know, through the years the craze was to shoot a big, large, non-typical because You just don't see that around here. You know, how many? And down here in South Georgia, how many non-typical bucks have you ever seen in your life?
Really? I mean,
not many.
Not a lot of them.
I've actually shot one. I shot a 13 point that had a real small basket rack. I mean, it wasn't 10 inches wide. It would have ended up being a nice big non-typical had I shot it, later on in life. It was probably a year and a half, 2.5 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
But it had double main beams. It had another point going across the base of its skull. Weird situation. Trace got it up there in his barn. But that's the only one that I know that I've seen that I would call truly a non-typical deer. I've seen deer with abnormal points. But that's the only true non-typical that I personally have seen in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've seen a couple of other friends and guys that has shot them, but they're very rare. So I think during the craze when you started seeing bucks of the Tecumseh and things like that 20 years ago come on the video scene, and some of Bill Jordan's early work, there was an infatuation with the non-typical. So that's why people started going to high fences, to be able to shoot a monstrous buck like that and get it mounted and have a great conversation piece on the wall. And I think now it's slowly turning back to where, you're getting more people wanting to shoot a truly large, typical clean buck. So
that's right.
Just kind of cyclical things.
I love the looks of a non-typical. I really do. My dream buck is basically a 10 point with matching drops on each side.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or any drop,
I love the look of a non-typical, as long as it's not just this gnarly, screwed up mess. Now, if it's natural, and if it happens and occurs in the wild with the sticker points and all off of it, that's great. But I don't get me wrong, I'd love to kill one, but I just don't like the looks of these pinned, gnarly looking, just crazy.
No, I
looking.
don't either.
So.
I don't either. I agree. But there's a market for them.
There
they wouldn't
is.
be doing it. I mean,
Huge.
you can spend a lot of money. I mean, I can point you to a certain ranch in Texas that you can go there and shoot a big old buck and it'll cost you $15,000 to $20,000. And I would never do that, even if I had the money to spare. We got a call coming in. We'll go ahead and take the call. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors. How are you?
What's up?
What's happening?
Trying to get it done, son. I got that bow hook behind that truck sitting out there ready to go.
I hear you. Where you going to go this morning?
Over there, that pond that got that water in it?
Yeah, that one. That's a good one there, man. You always catch some nice ones there.
Yeah, I'm going out there. I got that big old flipping stick ready. I'm finna go beat some weed beds and find some fat girls.
I hear you. What bait you going to have on the end of the line?
I'm going to have a crawdad on there because that's what's moving into all the little creeks and the rivers.
Yeah, especially with this little bit of rain, too, huh?
That's right. They're going to be backed up in them weeds, and they're going to be hungry.
I hear you.
I'm going to put it on them. See, I ain't got to go all the way down there to Florida where there's 9 million fish per foot. I got something here and beat around the head with a real man fish.
That's right. That's exactly right. It takes a special guy to be able to do it around here, don't it?
Of course, the fellow that pays $700 for a cooler, he'd believe anything.
You got that right. He got a screw loose to start with, huh?
Yeah. He still ain't. He been working on that cooler for 3 days. He still ain't figured out how to use it.
Hey, if your monthly payment on your cooler is more than your car, you might be a redneck.
I'm from Alabama.
Amen on that. I saw a disturbing thing in my neighborhood, Bulldog. I was driving yesterday and I saw an Oklahoma sign in the man's front yard.
Oh, Lord.
He's got it bad, don't he?
He's lost.
Somebody done vandalized his house.
That's probably what somebody got it there on purpose.
I hope so. Well, you
all right, then I'll go holler at y'all. Y'all don't sound as pent up for a feel-good night as y'all usually do.
Well, it's the end of the week. Sometimes it catches up with us, but we ready, man. We ready for the weekend.
I hear that. I know how that is. I got 2 more loads and it's on then.
I hear you. Well, make sure you put some pictures up on the Facebook page so we can wish we were there.
10-4. Y'all have a good weekend. I'll holler at you next week.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Bulldog Seahall reporting this morning. He can. I guarantee you one thing: if he goes this morning and for some ungodly reason he don't catch any, that means they weren't biting. Because I guarantee you he knows how to put them in the boat. I've seen the pictures.
If he goes this morning and doesn't catch any, ain't nobody out there catching any.
No, the barometric pressure or something was way off if Bulldog don't catch a fish.
I actually was messing around here and pulled up one article. It doesn't have a date on it, but it's world's largest whitetail sudden impact has died. And I don't know when this was, but it's just 3 years old. Sudden impact grew the largest set of whitetail antlers ever recorded at 492 inches.
Holy cow! And he wasn't but 3 years old.
Yeah. But, I mean, he looked plumb miserable. How he died was he damaged his antlers sometime while they were in velvet and an infection set in.
Oh.
They decided to cut his antlers off to keep it from spreading, but it was too late. It done been spread.
Dang, man.
And he passed away. I don't know what year that was or anything like that, but it's he was huge, ugly looking thing. I'd like to kill him in the wild, but
492 inches of antler. And if you kill a 150-inch buck around here, you've killed a big buck for around here. And you're talking about something that's 3 times as big as what you could hope to shoot around here. That's crazy.
But every year in the United States, there's 200-inch deer killed, typical and non-typical.
Yep.
You know, every year. Not from breeding pens. We're not talking about inside a fence. I'm talking about wild deer in the wild.
Oh, yeah.
Grown in the wild. I don't know that they have any influence from captive deer or whatever. Can't say that, and I'm sure the people there can't say it. But there's some big deer.
I don't think it's much of a factor in Georgia,
No.
you know, because we don't have a lot of high fence. We don't have any high fence where you can bring in deer. The only ones we have here in Georgia are where you can fence off your land and
whatever's in there is what you got.
Whatever's in there is what you got. That's right. Which I'd love to do that. I mean, that's something I'd love to have about 1,000 acres and fence it off and control my deer population for my own personal use. But I don't think that factor of them escaping. But in Ohio, I fully believe it.
Yeah.
We were talking during the break. When the economy got bad about 3 years ago. I was up there, and one of the breeders, a guy had went there. Trey and I rode with him, and he'd purchased 10 does. And the guy had said, "Hey, things are getting so bad. He can't get money out of this, money out of that." And he said a lot of them are going out of business and just turning their deer loose because they couldn't move them, couldn't find anybody to buy them. So they just open the gate, keep from having to feed them, let them go in the wild. So all those genetics and all that work, is out in the wild population now. So I'm sure it's had an impact up there. But
sure.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You listen to the Good Outdoors on 99.5.
Wow, look at Bob trimming the grass. He's so fast.
I know, and that mower is so big.
And it's got a huge deck.
And it cuts the long grass with deep roots so easily.
Yeah, Bob's a bad boy.
When you want to cut grass like a champion, get yourself a Bad Boy mower from Nashville Tractor. Nashville Tractor carries an exclusive line of Bad Boy zero-turn mowers. See them now at Nashville Tractor in Valdosta and in Nashville.
Quitman, Georgia, and antiques go hand in hand. Tammy's Antiques and Consignment, located at 211 East Screven Street in Quitman, is a traditional Southern antique shop with a little twist, offering a consignment program that fits like a glove in the spacious downtown shop. But the real twist is Zumba. That's right, Tammy also offers Zumba fitness classes as well as tanning. Come by and check out the literally thousands of items upstairs and down. And if you have an item that you want Tammy to sell, bring it in. That's Tammy's Antiques and Consignment, 211 East Screven Street, Quitman, or give Tammy a call at 229-506-9146.
Attention Outdoor Nation. Adel Outfitters, located at exit 39 on I-75 in Adel, Georgia, has over 18,000 square feet of outdoor unbelievability just waiting on you. Specializing in a wide range of outdoor supplies for everyone, including hunting, fishing, shooting, kayaking, camping, little league, clothing, knives, boots, you name it, Adel Outfitters has it. They also have that personal one-on-one attention that you just might not be getting from some of the big boxes, and Adel Outfitters has a whole lot less overhead, so you'll be surprised at the deals. So come see us now at Adel Outfitters, exit 39, Adel, Georgia. Woo-wee! Sweet Tea Smokehouse on South Hutchinson Avenue, Adel, is the bomb. You ain't had good old South Georgia barbecue if you ain't been to Sweet Tea Smokehouse. Ribs, chicken, pork, beef, good grief, this is some fine eating. And it ain't called Sweet Teas for nothing. Ice cold sweet tea and good old barbecue plate with all the trimmings is what living in the South is all about. Head up Highway 41 North towards Adel. Swing into Sweet Tea Smokehouse for lunch or dinner. Great Southern barbecue like it's supposed to be. And don't forget some of that fine Brunswick stew. Woo-wee! Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has been serving South Georgia and North Florida for over 3 decades. With 9 locations in the South, Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a full-line distributor for all welding and industrial supplies. The Jones mission is to provide quality products at a competitive price in order to supply the best service available. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has built a reputation for good, honest, old-fashioned service. For a location near you, visit www.joneswelding.com. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a proud supporter of the Good Outdoors. Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Welcome back this morning to The Good Outdoors. Feel Good Friday. That's what I'm talking about.
You got to feel good on a Friday, man, because most people ain't going to be working Saturday and Sunday. The only way you wouldn't feel good on a Friday is if your wife had such a honeydew list that you was just dreading doing it, Luckily, I ain't got that going on this weekend that I know of. Now I could get home. And that'd be
I
on
hope
the
she ain't
counter.
listening.
So you got the honey-do list? I got the honey-meat list.
Mm-hmm. I hope she ain't listening, because if she is, she just made you a list.
That don't mean I got to do it.
Okay. The Milo Hansen buck is the current world record typical. Monster 12 point scored 213 and 5/8 in 1993, and hasn't been passed in 10 years. But the Jordan buck before that was held for many years.
Yeah, a long time.
So that's a lot of bone, man. A lot of bone. But Boone and Crockett system does give credit for the air between the antlers.
Yeah, it does.
To where your other one doesn't. But it's a big old buck, man. Hey, let's take this call right quick. Good morning, caller. You're not on the Good Outdoors, so call back.
The caller was calling during the break there. Could have been listening to it on the website, which is on a little bit of a delay. So
call us now.
229-253-0995 is the number to call if you got any comments, questions, or concerns about the Good Outdoors or anything. We'll tackle anything here.
Yeah, we'll try it. Any of it at all.
If we don't really know the answer, we'll just make it up.
The Jordan buck was 206 and 5/8.
The James Jordan buck. That was a nice, big, typical high rack. If you've ever had the pleasure
Wasn't really
of
a lot of
going,
spread on it.
No, not a big spread. Nothing like the Milo Hansen buck, which was 27 inches wide. Can you imagine seeing that thing come through the woods?
Jeez.
But if you've ever had the chance, or if you ever get the chance to go to some of these big deer shows or outdoor shows, a lot of times you'll see a collection. There'll be replicas most of the time, but it's pretty cool to see just how big those deer are, and it is incredible. It's incredible. Just the mass on that James Jordan buck,
unreal.
Where it comes out of his head is just, you can't reach around it. It's incredible. But
you can go to Bass Pro Shops. They have a lot of replicas of them, different ones. Man, it is unbelievable how massive that Jordan buck was. I remember Wisconsin killed in 1914.
Yeah, I remember Dad and I went to the Georgia Outdoor News show that they used when they had it in Perry back years ago, and they had the Milo Hansen buck there on display. It was, I think it was a replica too. I don't think it was the actual one, but we went in there and looked at it, and you could get real close to it. You couldn't touch it, but it's just absolutely incredible, man. I believe that if you're much of a hunter and you've killed a few good bucks, had the fortune to kill a few nice 150, 160 class bucks or something, I believe when you walk up to the next world record, you're going to know it. I mean, it's just one of those things that's a no-doubter, that you've got something that's not normal.
Yeah.
And I sure wish I could have that day this year. That'd be great, especially if I could do it with my bow. That would be awesome.
Man, I tell you, it's something about that. Chasing a whitetail buck, there's something about it when you kill a trophy animal. When you kill something that's got good bone on it, and it's just the feeling, the exhilaration of walking up and putting your hands on that animal. Knowing that you clashed wits with him. You know,
Yeah.
you fought him basically. You fought all his senses and you won.
Yep.
Doing
And,
it
you
with
know,
a bow is unreal.
And some people get that feeling every time they walk up to a doe. You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
there's nothing wrong with
That's
it.
what hunting's all about, right there.
It is, you know, and I love, you know, I just, the day I quit getting nervous when I shoot a deer and have that nervous feeling after I shoot a deer is the day I'm going to quit deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get excited from it anymore, I'm done.
I tell you
I'm
what,
done.
I see Trey's like that with turkeys. He falls apart when they come in. You can hear him sitting there so close on camera. He starts breathing heavy, and he has that unbelievable passion for turkeys, which I don't have that. I love to turkey hunt. I like to shoot them, but I don't get all jacked up like that. He does. Now I get that way on a big buck, you know, coming through the woods. I'll start my breathing will start getting heavy, and I'll get nervous. I'll start shaking. My knees get weak, and that buck fever starts creeping up the back of your neck, and that's why I enjoy doing it. Now I don't get that way on a doe. You know, I can just matter of factly pop a doe. But now if I'm sitting up there with my kid and a doe comes out and he's about to shoot, then I get those same feelings, and that's why I like to take the kids with me. And that's what this show's about, is getting those kids out there and keeping that pipeline going and securing our hunting heritage and our fishing heritage and our outdoor heritage. Horseback riding, camping, canoeing, man, it's getting outdoors. That's what we're all about here, man. I guarantee you there's going to be so much outdoor activity this weekend. It's indescribable. You're going to have people going, probably not doing a lot of camping, but there'll be a lot of RVing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and which is an outdoor activity. And there'll be a lot of swimming going on. Pool parties every weekend from here till probably September, August at least.
Yes, sir. You know, you don't think my two little ones love being outside. Yesterday afternoon, the rain was slacking up, and it was hit and miss there at the house in Lake Park. But Aubrey, being 1 year old, was standing at the door, reaching up for the door handle, crying, wanting to go outside. And it was still mist and rain, so I'd pick her up, I'd walk her outside, right out from under the cart, the shelter, the porch on the front, and the rain would start hitting her, and she'd kind of raise her hands up towards her head, and I'd walk back in. She wasn't satisfied. She wanted to go to her swing set. She loves being outside. And then it did quit raining, so we did go outside. Couldn't get on a swing set. It was too wet. Couldn't get it dried off good enough. But looked around, and I think it was, who was it? It was Morgan, Alexis, and Mackenzie were on the golf cart. Right down the road in between the rain yesterday.
Yeah, getting
just
it done.
loving to be outside.
Yep.
Loving it, man. They want to go. So you got to keep kids outdoors, keep them engaged, you know, and just keep them active. They want to be outdoors. They want to get outdoors more and more.
An idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yes, sir.
Keep them outside, keep them busy. You know, find things for them to do. Never ceases to amaze me how bored children get nowadays, and some of it's internal. You know, we didn't allow ourselves to get bored. We found something to do. We went outside and we created something to do. Never got too hot. I don't remember it being hot. You know, I know it was 100 degrees, but I don't remember getting hot when I was a kid. I mean, we'd go fishing at 1 or 2 o'clock in the middle of the afternoon, and I can remember Dad making comments like, "Ben, y'all ain't gonna get too hot to go. Too hot." It was never too hot to go.
Never.
We'd go stand there in the boiling sun fishing. Man, we didn't care.
No, we did not care. You know, back in the summer when we were little, you know, when during our summer vacations, if we got too hot, I guarantee I know what we did. I don't remember it ever getting that hot. We just get in the water.
Yep.
Grab the old water hose.
Yep. No, if we were fishing, we'd get in the water.
I remember working one summer picking squash for A.D. Woods up there, and it was I do remember it being hot out there in that field, and I remember at lunch there was a little irrigation water hole there, nice little water hole, clean around it, and man, I just jumped in the pond. I ate my sandwich there, and I jumped in the pond to cool off, and I remember he come up there, and son, he got on me like I had just killed somebody. Yeah, I said, "Get out of that pond right now." He was worried about me getting hurt, you know, drowning and causing a problem.
You know,
but I didn't let the heat bother me. We found ways to deal with it. We jumped in the lake, cool it off, you know.
We were talking about Futch's Ferry the other day, and I actually talked to Kevin Scarborough that weekend, and he told me to tell you, and I forgot, Kevin, what it was. But I think that top pallet, he said, was right at 30 feet. They measured it. Right at 30, because he's one of them that carried it up there.
Oh, yeah.
Right at 30 feet up.
Yeah, that's
up
like,
there, ain't it?
That's like cliff diving in Hawaii to me. I ain't getting up there. I don't mind getting up there, and I can get up there and sit up there. It don't bother me. But I ain't jumping off.
I ain't jumping off.
I ain't got to jump off. You know?
I've done it one time, and it was enough to tell me not to do it again.
I remember jumping off the high dive at the boys' club years ago when they first had it. I wasn't scared of heights. I still ain't scared of heights. You know that. But I jumped off that high dive, and I landed a little wrong, and it fried my leg. And I realized right there, I mean, there's just some things you don't need to do. And jumping off a 30-foot piece of perfectly good pallet in a cypress tree ain't one of them.
It's like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yeah, why would you do something
even right
like
down
that?
there at Blue Springs, you know, I used to work in heights, just crazy heights all over the place down here. And never was really that bad scared. You know, you'd be nervous, of course, but never was that scared to do it. But I got down there to Blue Springs a few years ago, and I wouldn't even jump off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was it, 15 feet at the most? And I was too chicken.
I seen you a little nervous over there hunting with me one day, and I had you in a lock-on stand. And,
yeah, but you had me 27 foot up in a tree, and the wind was blowing 35 miles an hour.
And the tree was about big around as a pencil.
Yeah, and we were both two lock-ons in that tree.
Yeah, that's
really?
Right.
I'm like, man, you were coming up the tree, and the tree was going cracking. I said, well, I had done looked around, and if the tree broke, I knew where I was going.
Yeah,
I was going to hang on to the other tree.
Your handprints are still in the side of that
How
metal.
I hit the deer that I shot at that evening, I'll never know.
I don't know neither.
But you were trying to film me, if I recall right. You were going to film me.
Yep.
And it done gotten too late, and the deer walked out, and I hadn't killed a deer yet that year. And I remember it perfectly. It went just like this. You whispered, you said, "It's too late to film. Go ahead." Bam!
Yep.
Just like that. Son put the gun down and held on again.
And the thing, we had a trophy management rules, and we had a strict policy not to shoot, anything less than a certain size deer. Make sure you didn't shoot anything with spikes or anything like that. And he shoot. So one thing I told you, so make sure it don't have no horns on its head. And deer comes out, and it was late, and he shoots. We go over, and it has 1-inch spikes on it. Oh my Lord!
Oh well.
Yeah. Wasn't against any game laws or game rules, but it was against club rules. So I don't mind saying it because they ain't in that club no more. We had to stuff him under the toolbox and put the cooler in front of him and slip out the back gate.
Well, it was kind of too late, and I wasn't going to look. But by the way, if I do remember now, that pallet was actually 50 feet.
50 feet
at Futch's Ferry.
Golly, that's crazy. I don't even know.
That's unreal.
Well, now I know why I didn't even climb up there.
I couldn't see
I
it.
remember vividly that the furthest I jumped was the 3rd level. There were 5 levels, and I went to the 3rd one, and that's as high as I would go.
Hey, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here with the wrap-up segment on the Good Outdoors.
So, Dawson, is Dad still ill about you calling him out on his shooting ability?
I don't think so, but I have seen him on the range a lot more lately.
Dad always says practice makes perfect.
That's what he says, but I don't think it works for adults.
Why do you say that?
Well, from the look of the scorecard, it's making it worse.
Dawson, bring me some more shotgun shells.
Okay, Dad.
If you need some practice, come by Southwind Clays and Quail on the Quitman Highway just past the river headed towards Quitman. With a top-notch clubhouse, a 5-stand, sporting clays range, as well as a rifle and pistol range, Southwind has what you need to succeed. World-class quail hunting is also available with some of the finest bird dogs around.
Dad sure shoots a lot.
Yeah, if he keeps this up, Mom's gonna be mad.
Why is that?
Because he's spending all Mom's shopping money on shotgun shells.
Man, I have picked up some bad habits.
You don't need any more bad habits. Are you talking about Bad Habits Saloon and Grub?
Oh, yeah, baby. Nothing like throwing back a cold one and watching one of their 26 high-definition TVs.
Yeah, and you don't have to ask what sort of beverage they have, because they've got it all at Bad Habits Saloon and Grub.
That's right, over 300 bottled beers. Any premium drink you could ask for, including single malt scotch and single barrel bourbon.
And 48 beers on tap. Oh, and the food, from juicy ribeye steaks at $9.99 to foot-long premium hot dogs. And $10.99 all you can
can eat wings from 10 to 11 p.m.
And no matter what mood you're in, there's 3 environments to enjoy: a dining area, a bar, an outside patio, TVs, and all 3 places, baby.
Come on out and enjoy a live DJ every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night and grab a $2 16-ounce draft or a $6 domestic bucket while you mingle.
Come visit Bad Habit Saloon and Grub and let them serve you what you want, not what they want you to have.
Bad Habit Saloon and Grub near the mall on Gornto Road, right behind Exit 18 Liquors. Tell them we sent you from the Good Outdoors.
Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go again. Every time there's a food plot to be planted, Darrell's nowhere to be found. You see him, Ronnie?
He's probably in the truck eating a dang sandwich.
I'm sitting right here by this tree, and they don't even see me.
Man, that Real Tree AP was designed to blend hunters with their surroundings, not hide them when it's time to work.
I'm so hidden, the scooters can't even find me.
Okay, Darrell, come on. We got to get this stuff planted.
What's that? Hey, stop it.
Real Tree. It's so real, a coyote might pee on it.
Serves you right, you slacker.
So you need a car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Midway Auto Emporium at 4189 Bemis Road, Valdosta, Georgia. Cameron and Melissa Tucker has been serving the Valdosta area for over 7 years now. They are a family-owned and operated local business with hometown values and still believe in handshake deals. With a great selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, with a Carfax report on every one of them, along with bank financing at all credit levels and interest rates as low as 1.85% with approved credit. 4189 Bemis Road, or visit their website at midwayautoemporium.com.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Good Outdoors. Steve, what segment is this?
This is the wrap-up segment brought to you by Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail. Out on the Quitman Highway, just past the river on the right, headed towards Quitman. John Peak and the Peak sons, Dawson and Grayson and Mrs. Peak, they all have a fine facility out there. 5-stand, sporting clay range, fantastic quail hunting, rifle and pistol range, great facility out there for entertaining corporate parties or birthdays. Y'all check them out at Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail.
Great place to go, man. Awesome.
No doubt.
Unreal. Yeah, I wanted to cover one thing. This is the time of year, guys, when you're out, if you're out in the woods or anything this year, be real careful because so many new fawns are being born. Scott Dodds, he rescued one from his dogs the other day, and by the time he got to it, the dogs had already gashed it up a little bit, and the mom had run off, so he actually took the little fawn home, sewed it up, carried it back out there, and reunited it with its mother.
Good job.
Be careful if you're out mowing or anything like that because it can, you can disturb them very easily. Just be careful and watch what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Can get pretty rough.
It's heating up out there on the traditional lead ammunition ban out in California. They're putting an all-out effort to ban all lead ammunition. And there's a lot of organizations teaming up to defeat that bill. We're going to keep a watch out on it. I hope that doesn't happen. It seems like through the years, not necessarily in the hunting and fishing or outdoor industry, but through the years, when I was in the carpet business, the trends and whatever happened out in California would slowly drift across the United States. And by the time, something that comes out in California, a year or 18 months later, it would be popular in Georgia.
Yep.
So my fear is that once, some of these things start happening out west and then other states, it'll start migrating and taking a foothold in other states. Luckily, we live in Georgia. And it won't never happen here. I mean,
I sure hope not.
I guess I wouldn't say never, but it ain't gonna happen in our lifetime. And you can take that to the bank. I mean, statistics show when you have any kind of a gun issue or bullet issue, our side's winning 80% to 20%. But it's the states like Connecticut and even Wisconsin now, but California especially, they have an issue, and it's 55-45 or 60-40. It's getting dangerously close to where it's getting close to being able to pass, and then you get rogue senators like in Colorado that ignore the will of the people. That's I guess that's where Georgia could be in trouble if we ever elected someone that was an idiot, like the guy that's about to get recalled out there in Colorado. I mean, his constituents, it was about a 70-30 split pro gun side, and yet he voted contrary to what his constituents wanted. Now they're fixing to teach him a lesson.
It's a good thing too. They need to do that.
No doubt about it.
They sure do.
Nosler has finalized its acquisition of Silver State Armory. The addition of SSA's products and manufacturing capacity is an important step toward Nosler's goal of providing customers with a reliable source of high-demand ammunition products. So
I didn't know they acquired them.
They did. That was a big transaction there, I'm sure.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I guarantee
Millions
you.
of dollars.
Guarantee you. Huge transaction, man. I think we're finally going to start seeing in the next couple of months a slowdown on the ammunition, the not being able to get them and all that, because now you're seeing more 22 bullets here and there. You're getting a crop, you get a crop of them here at some of the stores. T3 will get a crop of them in, so it's starting to get more and more to where we can get our hands on them. And people are slowing down on buying them and purchasing them. Now, things like what's happening in California can actually make it happen again.
Mm-hmm.
If it starts coming out and they're going to try to do it here, it can get rough.
Yeah.
It'll start all over, but I don't know. I hope it slows down. I hope there's a lot of rumors out there now about guns and ammunition, and they're still coming after them, and the government's still buying up all the ammunition they can buy, and I hope it's just that. I hope it's just rumors that the government's buying up all the ammunition. They don't need it. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
They don't need all that, but back when all this was first started, people were paying way too much money for 50 rounds of 22 bullets. It was supply and demand.
Yep, that's
the
right.
supply wasn't there, so people started paying this high price for them. Manufacturers see the high price they can get, so they want to keep the price up as long as they can, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
So you think anybody's holding them back now? What do you think?
Al, I don't know. It's a complicated thing.
I think they may be getting held back a little bit to keep the price up.
Yeah, I mean they might, but there's two philosophies in economics. There's either that deal with supply and demand. You can either work off a low supply with a high margin, or you can go high volume with a low margin. So that I don't know what they're doing. I know the retailers would like to have the volume,
right?
But now the manufacturer, he's all about his profit. It happens in everything. Oil, that's why they don't just release oil. Like we all know we got way more oil than you need. I think everybody's understood that now, but for some reason the oil companies are slow to put it out there, and the reason is they want to keep the demand. The worst thing that can happen to them is have just barrels and barrels and barrels of it sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to shrink their profit margin.
Yeah,
so it's a complicated process, and it's a free enterprise system.
Hey, let's take this call real quick. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors.
How about you guys? Happy Friday to you.
How's it going, man?
Time to start. Well, we've changed hours, so I have to listen to you guys on the last minute or two, but it's worth it. I catch every second I can. But, hey, I agree with you on that. They're holding it back. They're doing just like gas.
That's right.
I think they are.
That's big business, man.
Yeah, it's all about the dollar, ain't it?
Well, like I told y'all one time before, when the Democratic Senate slapped him on the back of the hand, that's when they started turning all this scandalism loose on them. And I said, well, I ain't got no money to lose anyway, so I can always defend myself.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way we
feel. Problem with them new boys on the block, though, these new kids, I feel for them. It's boys like us. I said, man, every time I'd walk by a brick of 500 rounds, I've been picking them up all my life.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I'm old as dirt.
You ain't that old now.
Well, the thing is, you got to prepare for that. But
yeah, you got to think ahead.
You guys have yourself a good old weekend.
You do the same, man. Have a great weekend.
Thank y'all guys.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, I really have my suspicions that now some of the ammunition companies are holding back on it because they've had enough time to get the supply back up. In my book, I believe they have, and I think they're holding back now, keeping the price up as long as they can, and making some money. Darrell Sample don't agree with that, I bet.
No, not after what I saw on the news yesterday with the government.
Yeah, well. Yeah,
the bottom line is we don't know. That's the thing. We just don't know. We don't have that information. I don't know, man. It's just beyond me how that the demand is still up at that level.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a person, I'm like the gentleman that just called. I'm gonna keep buying my rounds, but there's going to get to a point, just from sheer having somewhere to put it, that you can't keep buying but so much, I guess. And
but
then
it also comes down to, do they have what kind of shelf life they got?
Yeah, well, they'll sit there in the box forever.
Well, if you got 10 bricks of 22 bullets at the house, 500 rounds per brick. I mean, you're going to walk by. You're probably going to walk by a brick or two and not buy them.
I would think so. Yeah.
You know, I would. I mean, that's me. I would do that. You know, if I got built up to that number, I would walk by and not buy them.
Yeah.
I would skip a few. Now, if I went out and shot some and got low, I mean, that's my number is 10. You know, maybe that's a low number for some people. Maybe it's a high number for others. But
5,000 rounds, that's a lot. You know.
I mean, you can take a 22 though, man, and go out and shoot some rounds on a weekend and have some fun with some kids.
No doubt.
But still, that's a lot of rounds. You know.
Oh, you gonna need them for that? You know, when the zombies take over.
Zombies. Our resident zombie expert, Mr. Darrell Sample Jr., and he is expert. He started a zombie movie.
He's qualified. He's qualified. He's got the look. He's got the experience. He actually could be one.
Ooh,
hey,
I thought about that.
Eating.
He might have been involved with that. What was it, Miami? When they tried to eat that guy's face off.
Yeah, he did eat the guy's face off.
Yeah, I think that guy's doing pretty good now. They've got his face repaired.
Got him a new nose.
I'm staying away from the face. I'm going for the meat.
Meat, yeah.
Holly, you're nasty.
You look like a ham, man.
No, on a ham bone.
Heck yeah, that's the best part of the old human body. There, the old ham.
Well, we're about done with Feel Good Friday. It's time to go feel good for the weekend is what it is. And I'm going to Florida. In case anybody hadn't heard, I get to go to Florida this weekend, do some filming. I'm going to have fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I thought you were going to the ocean.
I am. Florida. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to get out in the ocean.
He'll be in Florida for what, 8 nautical miles or whatever. Then he'll be in international waters.
International waters.
Yes,
and,
sir.
I don't know whether I'm going 10, 20, 30, 100 miles out, but I'm going.
Yeah. Well, you can give us a full report Monday when you get back, I guess. Or
maybe
Tuesday.
I may not be back till Tuesday.
Or maybe you can call me and I can report it.
That's right. I might get up and call in Monday morning if I'm not here yet. So have a good weekend, everybody.
Hey, you listen to the Good Outdoors. We'll see you Monday.
You've been listening to The Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie. Join us every weekday at 4:30 when we'll do it again.